Good morning and welcome to In the Garden with Joyful Living. I am Kimberly Dixon. While we wait for some people to join us this morning, I am going to go ahead and show you the garden. Well, everything looks lovely as always. The kale is still doing fantastic. I cut a lot of it last week to use for dinner. Actually, I used it a couple times last week. Spinach. Made a spinach salad last week, but I'm going to be harvesting a little bit more today for a salad. This yellow bell pepper is still hanging on. As you can see, I moved it back I slid it against the house because it's a little bit, it doesn't get quite as cold closer to the building, and it doesn't get frost on it. So being next to the building will protect your plants from the frost. Look at this beautiful purple and cream pansy. So delicate, just absolutely gorgeous. And there are my cilantro plants that I planted from seed. They're doing well. Cilantro is a cool weather herb. Guys, I have the fire pit going this morning. I actually been sitting outside quite some time, just sitting by the pit having some coffee. Have to be careful going by it though, because I'm not trying to have to stop, drop, and roll myself. So the broccoli is doing fantastic this morning. Just gorgeous. You can tell that it has grown since last week, and this one back here is actually just about ready to sprout ahead. This cabbage, look at that cabbage. Absolutely gorgeous, and it has the hard little head in the center of it as well. Trying to be careful, guys, because it's wet out here this morning and I'm not trying to fall. The celery has grown since last week. I had cut it down completely. But the surprise of this week is the cauliflower. Last week I showed you that head, but just in 1 week's time we have a second one, and we have a third one. So it is just absolutely showing out. Actually, that one is starting to form, and the beets still doing well. I put them up under the table so that to protect them from the frost. We've had some really cold nights recently. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. We have a few people watching. Good morning, Darius. Oh, and Malcolm Dixon, that's my brother, y'all. So I need some more firewood. Please don't cut it too long. It needs to be able to fit in the pit. I'm 50 years old, but I am still a baby sister, so you know I still have privileges. But I told you on last week that in November that I wanted to talk about being hopeful in the world that we are living in today. So today I'm going to talk about hopelessness versus being hopeful. Hopelessness is a feeling or state of despair. Good morning, Jay. I look forward to hearing your commentary. It's always amusing to me. But hopeful is actually a feeling or inspiring optimism about a future event. Hopelessness feels like when we make statements like, it's always gonna be like this, nothing good ever happens to me, or I should have known better. I've heard so many people make that statement that I should have known better, and it's shocking and scary to me that they feel so hopeless about their own life. Good morning, Sabrina. Good to have you on, sweetie. But when we feel this way, and especially when we think this way, it makes us feel miserable. And when you are miserable, you will subconsciously find ways to justify and to prove or support your faulty thinking. So I want you to know, this is one thing you have to really get clear on. Nobody's life is all good, and nobody's life is all bad. When you make statements using always and never about your own life, you create this cycle of misery that is very difficult to get out of. And this faulty thinking makes feelings of hopelessness a constant in your life. The holidays this year will be so different. We've never experienced anything like this. Some of us are not gathering with family at all, and it will make those feelings of sadness, anger, being afraid, being alone compounded. So people are feeling hopeless. They are feeling afraid. But you have to tell yourself, and you have to remind yourself, that this too shall pass. This simple statement brings hope for the future. It reminds you that better days are coming. It may be next week. It might be next month. It might be 2 years from now. But better days are on the horizon. They are coming. You have to tell yourself, you have to remind yourself that this too shall pass. COVID is not going to be around forever, although it feels like it. But we are such an instantaneous society that a few months feels like an eternity to us. But we have to remind ourselves that this too shall pass. Remember, in Ecclesiastes, it says that there is a time and a season for everything. It even, one of the lines that it even says there's a time to embrace and there's a time to not embrace. Well, now is our time to not embrace. There is a time and a season for everything. But what I want you to really remember is, over and over in the word, God makes the statement, I will. Will, the word itself, is future tense. I will give you a hope and a future. I will never leave you nor forsake you. I will strengthen you. I will do my will. I will carry you. I will help you. I will dry your eyes. That is the essence of what hope is. God's I will statements are all the hope we need. Even when the land is cold and barren and diseased and in upheaval, we have hope for the future because we have a God who can and a God who will deliver us. We have to plan and we have to pray, but we don't worry about it. We make ourselves physically and emotionally sick worrying about tomorrow. But in the word, it tells us, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will take care of itself. Plan for the future. Pray about the future. Be hopeful about the future, but don't worry about it. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything through prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, make your requests known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds through Christ Jesus. Please share the video. Post it on your page. Inbox it to somebody that you know is feeling down or depressed, or maybe even feeling hopeless because of their current situation or because of the state of the world right now. Hopelessness is a bad place to be, and we don't want anybody to feel hopeless because we do we make bad decisions when we feel that way. We make decisions about things that we can't take back. People commit suicide when they are feeling hopeless, when they feel like they don't have an alternative and things are never going to get better. But we have to remind ourselves that this too shall pass. Please share the video. Inbox it to them. Whatever you have to do, let them know that we have hope for the future and God will deliver us. Guys, thank you for watching In the Garden with Joyful Living. Please share the video. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.